to you, Master Sina.
Thank you, Jonathan. I'm also like you. I'm not a trainer, but I'm very interesting to learn from experienced trainer in this club. Thank you. Next, I would like to call Toastmaster Arni. Would you like to introduce yourself to everyone? You are.
Hi, I'm Arni. I know this meeting from my club president, distinguished Toastmaster Harlina Indra, and I like to learn more about like like Jonathan. I also want to learn more about training from the expert trainers here. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arni. Toastmaster Arni is from Jakarta Bahasa Toastmaster Club, my other club. We use Bahasa Indonesia at that club. Thank you for coming, Arni. And last but not least, Toastmaster Herman. Toastmaster Herman Yosi.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is my second appearance to this club meeting, and I am member of Aurangabad Toastmaster, that is from India. And I work for manufacturing industry for last 30 years, and now last month only I quit my job to try my training skills and coaching skills in this field. So I am basically new to this area of training and coaching. But I thought if I join this club, probably I will meet few experienced people who are into this field. And attending any Toastmaster meeting is anyway fun and exciting thing for me. So I like to join this club, and that is why this is my second appearance to this club, and looking forward to more exciting meeting. Back to you, Mr. President.
Yay, thank you. So we have a new member. Toastmaster Manoj, Toastmaster Herman would like to join our club. Thank you. Thank you for constantly coming to our club. And we have Toastmaster Seni. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello.
Hi.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm Seni. I'm a member Toastmaster from Denpasar Bahasa Toastmaster. Okay, thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Toastmaster Seni. So we have several members from Bahasa Club. I'm from Bahasa Club also, Bu Harlina and Toastmaster Arni. Welcome, Seni. Enjoy our meeting.
Thank you.
Yes. So everyone, let's enjoy our meeting. For me, I always looking forward for this club's meeting. I'm looking forward to learn a lot from these experienced trainer and coaches in this club. So everyone, fellow Toastmasters and guests, enjoy today's meeting. I would like to call our Toastmasters of the meeting to lead today's meeting. Everyone, please help me welcome distinguished Toastmaster Harlina Indra. We cannot hear you.
Oh, yes, so sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I'm the Toastmaster of the meeting tonight. I will be your MC for the following 2 hours. And I'm very excited because when I saw the title and the caption of Will Scott's keynote, I had no idea what he was talking about. So I was like, I'm sure that today I will learn something new. So who did I ask for advice first? Of course, Mr. Google. And Mr. Google said something about landing page and so on. It's a little bit over my head. But then I would like to ask all of you, have you ever subscribed yourself to a webinar, a free webinar? Who has already done that? Show of hands. Yeah, a lot of you, yeah. Oh, good. So sometimes we see on the social media, oh yeah, free seminar, and then you click on it, and then you arrive on a page, and then they say, what do they say actually? Can somebody maybe unmute himself or herself? So, oh yeah, free seminar, click, come on landing page. What do they usually ask on the landing page? It's very simple.
They ask you to register.
Yes, with what?
Email address.
Yeah. So they actually ask you to do something, isn't it? Yeah. Landing
Yeah.
page, that's a difference with a website. In the landing page, they ask you to do something. Actually, we also do that, yeah, as Toastmasters. Hey guys, come to our meeting, have a link. But I'm not sure whether that is really a landing page or not. I have to dig deeper in that. But then I think I can directly segue into the warming up session. Imagine you're all trainers, aspiring trainers, and you are going to make a free webinar. You already, what do you call it? You make advertisement on your social media, and they click, and then they come on your landing page, and in which you are asking for their details. My question is the following. It's very simple. What's the title of your seminar? What is the title of your seminar, your free webinar? I give you 10 seconds, and then I would ask you one by one. We have 15 people, so it's more enough. You can answer for 30 seconds. What will, if somebody is going to click and they arrive on your landing page, what will be the title of your free webinar? Okay, let me ask first. Alex. So what's the title of your free webinar and why?
Learn photography in 30 minutes. I'll show you how in 30 minutes.
Wow, that's great. Wonderful. Jonathan.
How to change negative emotion to positive in 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes.
Oh, wonderful, even shorter. Okay, great, Manoj.
Just what was the question, Helena? Sorry, I missed it.
Okay, the question is, okay, so you're not really selling, yeah, you're promoting a free webinar. You say free webinar by Manoj. Click,
Okay.
and then it comes on the landing page with registration and on. My question is, what's the title of your free webinar?
The title could be "You Are What You Eat." It will be about nutrition. So I think that is one area I am slightly good at. So I think that will be my area of discussion.
Wonderful. Suchen.
Yes, Selena.
So what's the title of your seminar, your free webinar?
Oh, mine.
Imagine. Yes, imagine.
Oh, if I'm given an opportunity, my webinar is to be positive in the pandemic situation. That's my title.
Nice. Seni, what will be your seminar?
My winner is the Smart Parents Happy Kids. So I focus to my activity in storytelling. Okay,
Wonderful.
thank you.
Thank you. And now I would like to ask Herman. Herman, so what is your seminar?
Yes, so my tagline would be, you know the pain area of your business, but we know the solution. Come join us to know the solution to your pain area.
All right. Wonderful, wonderful. Great. Next, Arnie.
I think mine will be how to avoid distraction and procrastination. 3 tips.
Procrastination. Uh-oh, I think I have to follow your seminar. Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you. Now I would like to ask Will Scott.
Question, Harlina.
So the question is, if you're offering a free webinar, what would be the title?
Oh, that's easy. Get your bikini body ready for summer with only 1 hour's exercise per week.
Wow, nice. Thank you. 1 hour per week. Great. Now I would like to ask Adina.
Okay, mine would be networking, your key to the world.
Nice, nice. Eric.
Do you know South Africa? Do you want to come and visit? Get your free ticket now. Press the button below to opt in.
Wow, wow.
Wow.
Wonderful, wonderful. Shamraj?
Thank you, ma'am. I've been doing this webinar for the last 1 year. I do it thrice a week. And the topic is the top 3 secrets to learn English easily and effortlessly.
Great. And Agustinus? Can you hear me? Agustinus? Okay, then we move to Alan.
Thank you, Harlina. The title of the workshop or the webinar would be Falling in Love with Conflict.
That's wonderful. And my webinar would be long-time mentoring, how not to do it. That would be my webinar. So thank you very much. I think we have a lot to learn from each other. And can you imagine if we have a marathon webinar? It would be so great. Maybe we should do it. Applause for everybody. Okay, wonderful. So now we have we have finished our warm-up, and now we have come to the first of the 3 sessions. The first session will be the prepared speech session. It will also include the keynote speech of Will Scott. Wow. And after that, we have a table topic session, and after that, the evaluation session. And our club president just came on time, meaning just after I finished the warm-up session, so I cannot ask him what webinar he would organize. Gosh, maybe we will ask after meeting then. So thank you very much. And now we move to the first session first. First session is the prepared speech session. It is done by
You are on mute, book.
Yes, okay. So sorry. So the first session is, can you still hear me? The
Yes,
first session, okay. First session has 3 speakers. The first speaker is Alex Agaba, and he will give a special speech. It is actually from the special curriculum that I'm actually also working on. It's called a mentoring program, in which you have 4 steps in which you learn how to mentor one fellow Toastmaster. And the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. And well, to introduce Alex, I would say that, hey, we are here for a reason. And he believed that the reason actually of us being here is actually to throw little torches so that we can actually lead people through the dark. Wow. That's a quote from Whoopi Goldberg. So Toastmaster Alex is wondering whether you still remember the last time you had the opportunity to mentor. Was it good? Or did it make it so memorable? So the speech title of this speech is "A Candle Doesn't Lose Sight by Lightening Another." Wow. Please welcome the project mentoring speaker, Alex Agaba.
We're here for a reason. A part of that reason is for us to throw little torches out to lead people through the darkness. Whoopi Goldberg. Toastmasters, guests, coaches, trainers. Did you remember the last time you mentored someone? Was it memorable? What made it memorable? I remember the first time I joined Toastmasters. My first time at a Toastmasters meeting. So many people meeting in one space. So many people clapping their hands almost at every interval. So many people speaking. So many people evaluating. Such a supportive space, you might think. But for me, it was such a scary space. So this year, this month, I had a chance to mentor a new member at Toastmasters. This member joined this month, and I couldn't help but imagine what she's going through, what emotions are racing through her mind. Your first time at a Toastmasters meeting. Hey, Alex, I think I'm ready to take on my first speech. Really, Daphne? Wow, you're born ready. Yeah, I think I am. But hey, what's pathways? What's base camp? Oh, really? Don't worry, I can take you through that. Let's schedule a meeting. We can meet via Zoom. Oh yeah, that's possible. I'll be free tomorrow night, so please send a link. And just like that, I had my first mentor-mentee meeting scheduled. How do you prepare for such a session? How do you prepare to meet a first-time Toastmaster? Well, her first speech is going to be the first project, level 1, the icebreaker speech for the icebreaker project. So I looked around for material on icebreaker, and then also I got some material on information on pathways. I have a very interesting pathways document. I can't share it right now because my power went off, but this document has everything on pathways, the 11 pathways, and also it has material on DTM projects, and also the mentorship program project. So with all this information, I met Daphne, and by the time we were done, I could feel this new member was ready to take on Toastmasters. Toastmasters and guests. For Toastmasters on the call, have you ever talked to your mentee and you see a light shine in her eyes, like something has just awoken in her life? That was the situation after this session, and I felt so proud. Thank you, Alex. Now I'm ready to introduce myself to my fellow club members. Like, you got it, Daphne. I'll be there to support you. And hey, as you prepare for your first project, remember to set a few goals for yourself. Set some short-term goals at Toastmasters, and also think about your long-term goals. It's going to be such a roller coaster ride. If you set a few goals for yourself, you can always check in and find out how you're progressing. Needless to say, the following weekend, Daphne was on stage and she really was amazing. She showed like she wanted to do this. She was happy to be here, and you could see it from her speech, and she got a wonderful evaluation. Hey, Toastmasters, coaches, trainers, we're here for a reason. A bit of this reason is for us to throw little torches out, lead people through the darkness. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
You
I
are
I
on.
suddenly lost my microphone, so that's why. Here I'm back here. So can you imagine how it feels like to get all that encouragement when you're first speaker for the first time? Oh gosh, that's so beautiful. And if you once have that feeling of support, you would love to give it back, isn't it? And oh yeah, I have not mentioned who will be his individual evaluator. He will be evaluated by Agustinus, and Agustinus' evaluation will be silently evaluated by Arni. Okay, great. And now we go to the second speaker. The second speaker is already ready. He's standing already up, well dressed in his blue shirt. And he's going to do the second level speech from the dynamic leadership path. And hopefully after this speech, we will discover what is actually his dominant leadership style. Let's check what is the title of his speech. The title of his speech is, let me check, is Care by All Means. And he will be evaluated by Alan. Yes. And well, Manoj, take it away.
Friends, now to speak to all of you, let us invite our dynamic leader and an outstanding speaker, Mr. Manoj Nair. I sympathetically looked at my friend who introduced me as an outstanding speaker. Good afternoon, friends. How are you all today? Good. You and me. You and me. I kept repeating you and me for quite a few times. Good afternoon, good evening, Toastmasters, and my dear guests. I was a candidate for an election for a chemistry association secretary. The election was between the second year and the third year, and 90% of the times the third year used to win because they were seniors, and I was unfortunately the second year candidate. And that was my first impression, to make an impression with our group of people who were going to vote. That day, I learned the lesson of both public speaking and leadership. Leadership, I thought after that day's experience, it is something like being the first egg on the omelette. No. I even thought Leadership is about hiding the panic from the others. But I really learned the lesson that leadership actually starts with me. If I have to be a good leader, I have to lead me first. Friends, I have learned the basics of leadership from childhood. Our Toastmasters manual mentions about 8 types of leadership: bureaucratic, authoritative, pace-setting, affiliative, coaching, democratic, innovative. Those are the 8. In fact, I grew up in an ancestral home. And all this type of leadership I could watch from my family members. Particularly the men were very commanding, dictatorial. Their words were final. And the ladies, they were great servant leaders. And then there were uncles and aunts who contributed to the other types of leadership. My father was an army man, and extremely commanding, extremely strict. He used to be away most of the time. So I learned a lot of leadership from my grandfather. If the food on the plate, the dining table, the salt was less, the plate used to fly. The salt was more, the plate used to fly again. The spice was less, the plate used to fly. The spice was more, again the plate used to fly. I learned a leadership that I did not want to follow. I thought people followed them out of fear and respect. I still remember an example of great leadership when I was 4 or 5 years. We had a thick cashew plantation behind our house. And I was just 4 or 5 years old, and a group of youngsters used to come to steal the cashews. And as a little one, I used to play around and I see them. They used to scare me like ghosts, like this. And I used to run away. And I will look for my grandfather. I often would find him. And one day, I found my grandfather. And we both rushed and got all of them. Around 6 of them, brought all of them behind the house. Then I heard a compassionate voice from a lady, my grandmother. Kids, have you all eaten something? They were quiet, their heads were down. Come down to the kitchen. And the food was served. And everybody was quiet. Grandfather also did not interfere. And those boys never turned up to steal again. If you all look at, we can learn a lot of leadership skills from our own family. And the best foundation of leadership I got from 2 amazing leaders. That's my grandmother and my mother. My mother was one step ahead. That leadership, the first lesson, leadership is an influence, not control. The second and the most important is a good human being can be a great leader. Friends, I have been in the leadership for the last 20 years. I've been a profit center head. Designations changed from VP to country head to CEO. But what is my favorite style of leadership? My favorite style is only one: lead by example. If you want everyone to be passionate, result-oriented, committed, dedicated, motivated, you go first and drive the culture. I was instrumental in launching the first portable medical oxygen in the country, India. It was a small portable one, first time launched in the country, and I was the head. Our management did not agree for a call center because oxygen needs emergency number, one number to call. So what to do? What you would have done? I gave my personal number as the 24 hours emergency number. And friends, there was no looking back. It was 24/7 for me for almost 3 years. And we did excellently well, no complaint, because that was the highest kick ever one can get saving a life. Friends, I have been in this leadership, as I said, for more than 2 decades. majority of my experience was in the startup and turnaround. And the oxygen, which I did, agency was looking for a caption. What caption we would give for the product? They came out with some hundreds of captions. I didn't like anything. I said, care by all means. Care by all means was the caption of the first oxygen generator in India. Friends, the true price of leadership is the willingness to place the needs of others above your need. It's not about designation or position. It's all about impact, influence, and inspiration. Don't you all agree? Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much. So it's not about me, it's about you. That is what leadership is all about. Wow, wonderful. And now we have already had two prepared speakers, and I feel very fortunate that we can go to the third speaker. And the third speaker is our keynote speaker, Will Scott. Maybe the spotlight can be moved to the keynote speaker. So thank you very much. So Will Scott was previously a gymnast before an accident caused him to be paralyzed. However, that did not stop him from living his life fully. And now we call him Will Scott, but a few months later we may have to call him Distinguished Toastmaster Will Scott. At the moment, he's ARIA Director. And sorry, I got a little bit of distraction. One moment. Come, guys. Okay, so sorry for that. So I'm so sorry, Mr. ARIA Director, but I'm so happy that you can find in Toastmaster really the place where you can have a real passion for someone with your challenges. And for Will, actually the mind is a muscle that needs to be exercised daily. And Will is also a firm believer in giving back and offering other opportunities. It is for this reason that Will always tries to help wherever he can, especially with younger people. Being a voice for the disabled community is also something he feels strongly about. Because as it turns out, not everyone in his position has been as fortunate as Will Scott. Will Scott is not only a Toastmaster and also someone who really is supporting the young people, but he's also an online marketing professional. And in this session today, Will Scott will coach us, the audience, on how to capture online sales with a click funnel. So all of us will learn how to sell the right product and service to the right person the first time, anytime. So please welcome Toastmaster Will Scott.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. First things first, can I just ask that we unspotlight me briefly? I just want to get our timekeeper moved to the top left square that I can follow on. And here I will.
So the timekeeper can become a co-host then.
Yes, there we go. Okay. I'm also going to need sharing rights to share my screen. Okay. All right, then we should be, yes, there we go. Good to go. If you can just spotlight me again, thank you. All right. So In the next 20 minutes or so, I am going to try my level best to show you how I sell the sizzle. We've all had products in our lives. We've all had services in our lives. We've all had people that we approached, places that we went to find those things. Everything we purchase, everything that we spend money on speaks to some challenge that we have, some pain point, some pleasure point that we want to satisfy. Now, the first thing you need to know about sales, be it brick and mortar, be it online, it is about people. You can pretty much sell anything if you are the right person selling to the right person. I want to try and explain my process to you today in such a way that perhaps, well, let's not make me redundant. That would be a little counterintuitive, but I would like to give you a glimpse into my world. So I'm going to share a PowerPoint presentation that I've put together that I hope will illuminate that which I am conveying. So if you will bear with me, right. I beg your pardon. How did this thing something years ago and fine? Yes. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Will Scott Media. Professionally speaking, this is the professional title under which I operate. Today, I'm just going to move this anything along. All right, here we are. This is my first time actually using this particular function. There we go. Okay. So with anything else in life, there is a process. And the process is this. In order to sell, in order to convert, as we in the industry say, you need to start with a good foundation. I want to try today and explain to you how the process works, but also drill down a little in terms of how you get that foundation in place. It all starts with the perfect avatar. Now, that is jargon, I understand this. And for those of you who don't know what this means, an avatar simply represents the person that you consider your perfect client, your perfect customer. What is it that you do? What is it that you sell? What does that particular service or product speak to? How is that going to offer value to another person? How is it going to make their lives better? At the end of the day, that is what all sales comes down to, making your life better as a consumer. So what do I mean when I say find the perfect avatar? Online can be a very competitive place. I'm sure that many of you would know this. It means that you need to be clever about how you go about selling products or services. For example, who? This is the question you need to ask yourself. Who is your best client? Who is your best customer? Which customer that do you have that keeps coming back? And what do they purchase? That you can take as information, and you can then translate it into a marketing strategy to get those conversions, but to sell to the right person first time. Now you have to then find a message, and you need to put this message to them. And the formula goes something like this. What am I selling to you? What pain point, what pleasure point am I satisfying? What problem do you have that I need to solve? So for example, let's say that you want to get slim and trim. I'm not going to then sell you pet food. That is not your desire. That is not your need. You want to become slim and trim. Therefore, my product or my service needs to speak to that desire. But not only that, because you don't want to have to spend hours, weeks, days, months invested in something which you can solve instantly or within a short period of time, relatively speaking. Now, you can go and do 100 push-ups every day for 6 months till you're blue in the face. I guarantee you, you will see results. But what if I can offer you a better way, a simpler way, a much less painful way? So for example, if I were to offer you the 3 ideal exercises for getting a flat tummy, then I would say, are you tired of doing it the hard way? Are you tired of spending hours, days, weeks, months in gyms? I am offering you 3 exercise routines that you can do for an hour a day. Invest that in yourself and you will see results. Here's how. At which point I invite you to either find out more or click. And I take you to what's known as a funnel. You've already entered my funnel, you just don't know it yet. Our Toastmaster spoke quite eloquently about home pages, landing pages, such things. But there is a difference to a ClickFunnels website and your website that you might perhaps have gotten used to seeing for the last 30 odd years. You see, the original thinking was this: your website would be your identity online. People would find you there and then, as a matter of, by the way, find out what it was that you were selling. Now that is no longer the process that one follows. And I'll tell you why. People, generally speaking, are lazy. Sad to say, yes, it is true. If you cannot satisfy someone's curiosity about that which you do in 2 to 3 clicks, then you've lost the fight. And what a ClickFunnels landing page does for you, it is something that gives a potential client or customer the opportunity to find that which will satisfy their need. Simple, plain and simple. That is it. But it comes at a cost, both to you as well as to your clients. The first thing you want to do is get their details, right? So we are building trust. Bearing in mind that none of these people have ever heard of you before. None of these people know what it is you do, what your background is, where you come from, how many years you've invested in this process. No one cares. The only thing they care about is satisfying that need, getting rid of the pain point or tickling that pleasure point. So you ask them for an email address and you give them something of value, an ebook perhaps, a short video, something which they can take and use and find value in. At which point you take them to the next step, which is to say, congratulate them on their most clever decision to take on you, your service, your product, and invest that into their lives. Now, it sounds a bit patronizing the way I said it, but think about it. Is that not what you would want? Someone congratulating you for doing something quite simple, yet making you feel special. There's a psychology behind this, folks. There's your message right there. And from there, you build on. You get better products, better services. You present it to your client, a low cost product first, a bigger cost product next. And eventually, you would get them on board on a subscription or some kind of a basis whereby they keep coming back to you. That, in a nutshell, is how ClickFunnels work. But I can't give you a keynote presentation on just the basics. As you can see by the slide, it is a simple process that one follows. It's not rocket science, but this has been thought through, and there are reasons why one does this. So let's get back to the beginning, shall we? Finding that avatar. Why do people do what they do? It's psychology, basic psychology. We are, after all, as Abraham Maslow once put it, basically governed by a hierarchy of needs. The higher up there we go, the more specific those needs become. When your client finds you, you need to convey to that client what it is you do, but in such a way that they buy into you first and foremost. People buy from people. Yes, we get stuff, we get services, we get things done, but there is a face, there is a voice, there is a personality behind who you are professionally speaking. So convey your passions. Solve your clients' problems for them. You need to tell them that this is worth it for you. It's worth it to you to invest a little bit of time, perhaps a little bit of money, but that this eventually will make life better for you. Have that presence of mind to say to this person, here's how I am going to do it for you. People love having things done for them. I mean, we know that, right? Otherwise, McDonald's, the biggest property chain on earth, who happens to sell hamburgers, wouldn't exist. Again, the simple process, the simple principle. Give them what they want, and in return, you will get what you want. It's an exchange of value, but it is first and foremost, as I've said, a building of trust. You see that McDonald's logo, you see that Apple logo, you see that Coca-Cola logo, and you have an expectation. You know what you're going to get. And more often than not, it makes you excited. Okay? So you have to write these things down. It's not as simple as just going, oh, well, you know, I'm going to sell to Manoj today because I think Manoj would do well to have a kitchen scale. I don't know if Manoj cooks or not. I haven't asked him. Why wouldn't I? I might ask Harlina, wouldn't it be cool if I sold you a meat thermometer? I don't know if Harlina is vegetarian. I haven't asked her. Do you see where I'm going with this? There is a certain methodology that one must follow. You need to get in touch with who it is you are selling to. And the who could be a man, could be a woman, could be both. You need to figure out what the age group is, where in the world you might find them. Because it's not as simple as just selling to 8 billion people. Unless you've got a bank account that King Midas would be envious of, it will cost you simply too much. Right. So at the end of the day, do your homework. Find out who that person is. And it might be as simple as giving out a few samples for people to try. Or thinking in terms of who are the brands that that person follows? Who are the influencers that that person listens to? What are the products that they buy already? How can my product, my service, which is to say your product, your service, improve on what they know, what they've experienced? Then apply that, and you will find that you will come to a reasonable sized audience. At which point you can then say, okay, I've got 2 million people in the United States of America who I have now ascertained are fans of Nike or ASICS as brands, who follow Joe Blogs as a expert in training, physical training or physical exercise. They might be into sports. They might enjoy running. They might enjoy tennis. They might enjoy golf. This is to say, this process is not haphazard. And now, once you've gone that far, you will then say to yourself, okay, I know who I want to market to. I am going to take the plunge because I have done my homework. Folks, you have got to be very studious about this, because otherwise it becomes very expensive very quickly. So take a moment and write it all down. And I know this sounds pedantic, but unless you have this down, unless you have your foundation, your house of cards will come tumbling down. I promise you. As I've said, it is not rocket science, but it is a science. You can write down as your potential customer your own pain points, your own pleasure points. Because I can tell you now, if something works for you, chances are it may work for someone else. And that's a good place to start. No, you're not being presumptuous. You are also a human, and you are also a consumer. Therefore, start with you. But don't end there. Ask your friends, ask your family, ask people that you meet. Hey, I have a business and I do this and I sell that. I offer this service. Tell me, would you make use of that? How would you make it better? That kind of information is gold, because it helps you refine, it helps you improve. And at the end of the day, we all do want to do that, improve. both as professionals, both as people. Find out the core currencies. Now, currency doesn't need to refer to money. So let's say, going back to the weight loss program that we are now selling, that a lady of 25 to 35 wants to get that bikini body ready for the beach for summer. She needs to lose 30 pounds. She's got a month and a half to 2 months to do it. Speak to that and speak to that directly. Ask yourself, how many hours can she invest? How many hours would she want to invest? How many hours would make it an attractive proposition? Work on those pain points, work on those pleasure points. Say to yourself, if this was me, what would I want? And then again, write them down. So your currency might be weight loss. Your currency might be lack of effort needed. Write them down. Right there, you have got your missive, you have got your mission, and you're on your way. You write down what it is that you speak to, you write down what it is you will do, and you offer someone a solution. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your foundation. So when you have your foundation in place, then after that, you can move to your next step. Your profit pyramids, your signature solutions, your unique selling points, your products that you are going to develop, and your services that you are going to offer. But you need first and foremost to lay the foundation. So ladies and gentlemen, I offer you this. This is just a taste of what I do, but it is a process. I've spent about 11 years of my life making myself au fait with this that I'm telling you today. It works. It works for me, and it can work for you. I hand back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you see, it's the basics. It's a lot of work, but we cannot do it if we cannot build a house without foundation, isn't it? And especially if it works for yourself, pleasure and the pain, how to deal with it, it can also work for others. I still have to think about that meat thermometer. Yeah, does it work for me or not? Yeah. Okay, so now we have come to the end of the prepared speech session, and I would like to ask the timer, Sichen, please, what about the time?
Okay, Alex took 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Manjo took 7 minutes 30 seconds. Will took 22 minutes and 22 seconds. Back to you.
Thank you very much. So everybody is still within time frame. Okay, good, great. And now we have come to the end of the prepared speech session, and then we will move to the table topic session before we will have a break. And the table topic master was supposed to be Ayapa. Therefore, I'm very grateful that Eric was gallant enough to all of a sudden fill in the spot that was left by the previous table topic masters. So thank you very much, Eric. And let's hear how Eric can test our fast thinking skills. Please welcome Eric.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the most exciting sessions that I'm going to conduct today, which is the table topics. It's the first time for me to do it in this club. Believe me, it will be more exciting. I don't know how to ask questions. What I know is how to speak. So, but today I'm going to learn how to ask questions. I'll be your table topics monster. Sorry, not monster, but your table topics master. And I'll be there to make sure that we learn as we go. This is how it's going to work. I'm going to pose a question, and then I will choose someone to respond to the question. So I will not go for someone first. I will first ask the question and then look for someone, because I want to give you about 30 seconds so that you can think about it. Anybody can think about it. And then when I'm done, when you are done answering the question, then there will be an evaluator who will evaluate you for 1 minute. So you will speak for 2 minutes, the evaluator will evaluate for 1 minute, and then I will go to the next. So that might take me about 15 minutes for about 4 speakers. So ladies and gentlemen, let the master begin. We are in the digital world, and our theme is let's go digital. Will Scott have really conscientized us and made us aware about the digital world, especially from this different perspective, including ClickFunnels. Talking about ClickFunnels, and if you have listened to him, I'm going to ask you, what is a ClickFunnels? What is a ClickFunnels? Let me, before I ask someone, I will ask Alan to be the evaluator, not the speaker. I can see you are scared, but be the evaluator of the speaker. And our speaker will be Shyamraj.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir. Did you ask me what a ClickFunnels is?
Yes.
Okay. I've been into this digital world of training for the last 1 year or 2. And ever since we started, we see that even the finest speaker is not listened to by the audience. On the screen, we understand that the lifespan of a speech is only 1.5 minutes. More than that is too much for any listener. So I see the funnel as a route, as a shortcut for people to ensure that people come, sit even for an hour to listen to you. As I stated earlier, when you say the top 3 secrets, that becomes a pleasure point for someone. Easy ways to eradicate something, that's a pleasure point. When you say, are you suffering from something? Now you touch the pain point. Only when you tell him that here is something important, particularly for you, he starts lending ears to you. He is ready to spare more than 1.5 minutes to listen to you. Now, I would call a funnel to be one such element. If you can trap those people and bring them into your area, that is what you call a funnel. In fact, even in an in-person meeting, one of the psychologists told me that you cannot put any person onto the chair listening to you for more than their age plus 3 minutes. Do you get that? Someone is 20 years old, you cannot make him sit for more than 23 minutes. Someone is 30 years old, he would not sit for you for more than 33 minutes. But now, when the funnel is set properly, when the purpose is given properly, a person would land up spending more than 8 hours listening to you because you are serving him directly. This is what I understand from what you called a funnel. Thank you so much. Back to you, DTM Eric Kyler.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What a way to answer it. That's beautiful. Let's go to Alan. Let's hear your evaluation.
Thank you, Eric. And of course, thank you to Shyamraj for the table topics. I like how you answer the questions in 3 different parts. Number 1, you started off by telling us why you are credible to talk about this topic. It's not just who am I, I have been doing this for past years, but giving us a proof that you know what you're talking about by telling us that 1.5 minutes is the most important time frame to take note of. Number 2, you tell us how to do it, which is understanding the pleasure and the pain point. And number 3, you talk about what it is. This is the funnel that I'm talking about. So I like you going by this format of why, how, and what. But the best thing about it was not just only what, which is the funnel, you further elaborate what we can do to enhance it. So using a technique of understanding H plus 3 minutes, which is introducing something new coming in and further telling us that this is my understanding of it and why I'm credible to talk about this particular topic. I think in that 2 minutes, you show us you're very skilled in terms of understanding how to capture attention. So if I were to say, what is a click funnel? I think looking at you is a click funnel. So you should be the definitions of click funnel. So thank you very much again. Back to you, Eric.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alan. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's it. Let's go to the next one. What is an opt-in when it comes to a click funnel? We know our previous speaker had addressed the issue of the lead magnet and the landing page. Those were the things that we really addressed, but I want to opt in. And I'm going to go directly to Manoj. Manoj, you will be our evaluator here for the table topics that will be delivered by Augustinus. Augustinus, what is an opt-in?
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Eric Kaila. Listening to the 2 topics that you mentioned earlier makes me realize that I need to study more, I need to read more, because none of those topics that you mentioned to me, click funnel and opt-in, I didn't know what it is, to be honest. So every meeting in Toastmasters, I realized that I always learn. In the last 4.5 years, I always learn something, every single meeting. And today's meeting, today's experience makes me believe that I will always learn in every meeting. What is opt-in and click funnel? I really don't know the answer, but thank you for giving me that topic. This topic makes me, how do you call it? Yeah, makes me realize that I need to keep on improving myself every day. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Eric Kaila.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. In fact, we must say thank you to Will Scott for bringing up all these things and challenging us to really be there. Let's go to our evaluator, Manoj, please.
Thank you, Eric, and really appreciate your intuition for picking 2 members who are not aware about this particular subject. If you had picked me as a speaker, I would have said the same thing the speaker had told. So I really appreciate Augustinus. This is the quality of a great leader, saying that what he did not know, and really appreciate August, and really proud to have you as our leader, a leader who continuously learn, who is not from an English-speaking background. Really, you're a motivation and inspiration. I really liked how you approach the topic, be honest, and then from there, it was a message for me as well. We both have to learn a lot of things, in particularly among this high-profile trainers who are well-versed with the digital world. Excellent. You spoke honestly, sincerely, and you concluded also well. I have nothing to say for improvement. Let's keep working together. Let's keep improving. Let's keep learning. That's what I also do. Particularly when I used to be in the first time, I used to keep a notebook. I am continuing that practice so that in every meeting we learn many words, many quotes, and it's a nice document when we look back a little later that we have a lot of material even to speak at short term. Thank you so much. Back to you, Eric.
Thank you, Manoj, for a good attempt. You have done very good. Let me go to our third speaker. But before I go to our third speaker, there is a pattern that we have learned here. We have learned about ClickFunnels, which have a landing page, which have a lead magnet, where you attract your people, you bring them to concentrate on your product. And then there is something what we call it opt-in, where the person must put in his email address or telephone number or something which you can have for yourself for future communication. That means you don't lose any customer. The person will be in your within your funnel. That means the person will be inside the funnel. But now here's something special. Here's something, once the person is inside the funnel, you know, a funnel, if somebody is inside, you can't go back. You must just go down straight to the bank. That is how it works. It goes this way, you fall in. The only way the person will come out of your clause is when you have paid the bank manager, and that means money in your account. That is how simple you should understand it. But that is what we call a low-cost product. Why should we offer a low-cost product? I'm going to ask Alex to be the evaluator of this one. And then I'm going to give it to Will Scott. Will Scott, why a low-cost product? Give me the full process of that low-cost product.
EPM Eric Kyler. The reason you give a low-cost product is twofold. With the funnel, it is all about the building of trust and the adding of value. So you have offered this person something of value for their email address, which they have then gone away and had a look at and applied to their lives and gotten some joy out of, some value. The low-cost product is something then which you subsequently offer them, which is to say, if you like the first thing I gave you, then you will love this. But you still don't charge them an arm and a leg for it. You give it to them at what they might consider a discount or a bargain. Again, you are offering them more than they expected, and you're continuing to build on the trust. At which point they will then have gone away and they would have paid that small amount, and then they would have been introduced to what might be your marquee product or service with the eye on retaining them as a lifelong consumer. So in short, that is how the process works. And if you thought that the email that you have collected right at the beginning of the process was random, just to say that if someone does get stuck in your funnel, maybe they've added something to a cart, maybe they have added or had a look at a page and they've not added something to a cart, you will use that email address to then ask them, it was great to see you, but we see you got stuck. Why is that? Is there perhaps a certain reason? Is there something we can do to make this easier for you? All the while, you are building on the trust. And trust ultimately is the goal that we operate on, because that is what's going to change that person into a lifelong consumer. Back to you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much from the horse's mouth. Thank you so much from the horse's mouth. Let's go to Alex. Alex, give us your evaluation.
Thank you, Eric. And wow, Will Scott, clearly you're a master of funnels. It shows in how you answered the question. You are so eager to get into it. And I could tell that you're so knowledgeable, you're so experienced, and you're sharing from a point of information. And my takeaway is that you offer a low-cost product with a long-term forecast in mind. And you didn't just conclude to that, but you explained to us why it would be very important to offer a discount, because, hey, if you offer a discount or a sub-product, you're staying with the person's contact and you're creating a relationship. And the key focus is have a long-term consumer. And you said it with so much ease, and I could tell that you really own that content. And that to me was just a hallmark of a speaker. When you show so much knowledge and you have to pick out a few things to share, but you're very illustrious and elaborate about it. I like that about your speech, with Scott. Thank you. Back to you, Eric.
Thank you so much. Wow, Alex, I love your evaluation. Really, it's very encouraging. A person can see through your answer that you really understand how these funnel things work and this digital marketing work. Our last question, I'm going to give it to our visitors. We know we have a lot of visitors here, so visitors, please be ready to participate. You can't go without adding value to this meeting. My question here is, and I'm going to take a quote from what Will Scott have said. Will Scott have said, give them what they want, and you will get what you want. Give them what they want, and you will get what you want. I want you to elaborate on this. I want you to inspire us on this quotation. And I'm going to ask Shamini, please be the evaluator for this table topic speech of Adina. Adina, give them what they want, and you will get what you want. 2 minutes, Adina.
Thank you, Table Topics Master, Distinguished Toastmaster Eric. Give them what they want, and I will get what I want. Well, other than a trainer, I'm also a marketing person, and I love business, so I'm an entrepreneur. So what I normally give my clients is actually my personal touch. For instance, during this pandemic, I came out with it's called Telekung Umi Adina. Okay, this telekung is actually what we Muslim women wear when we pray. Okay, and Umi Adina. You see, Umi means mother in Arabic. So that's my personal branding, Umi Adina. So I came up with that. I partnered with 2 other friends. So you see, I want it to be because it's my personal branding, right? So it's to my, how do I say? That telekung is actually done in such a way that it actually, what's the word? It's a reflection of me. I mean, that's me, okay? So when people have my product, okay, this is Umi Adina, this is her brand, this is her product. So what I will do, I will actually go to my client and I'll have coffee and we'll chit chat. I don't do hard selling. I don't force them to buy, but it's up to them. You see, if they want, so normally my friends, they support me. You know, in business, if you have their trust,
where is she? Are you there, Adina? I think the network has got a problem there. But we could get the point. She said, in business, if you get trust, I think she wanted to say this.
And in return, it's a win-win to you, Distinguished Toastmaster Eric. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Adina, can you hear me? I know, I think the network got a problem there, but we missed her when she said, if you get the trust, then I think you get the sale. Let me just put it like that. I'll put in my own words. If you get the trust, you get the sale. That is how simple I can put it.
Sorry, yeah, my line just went off because it's raining heavily here now. So sorry.
Oh, sorry. Can I quickly give you an opportunity to finish your point? You said in business, if you get the trust, what happens thereafter?
Oh, okay, all right, yeah. Yeah, no wonder, like, I was like talking and suddenly you froze. So I said, am I talking to myself? Okay, I'll continue. So, okay, back to the table topics. Yeah. So you see, like, I in order to have their trust, especially like, when you're doing business, your clients trust, you actually go the extra mile to do the little things, like just instead of asking a delivery boy to deliver my product, I will go to the office and I will make it a point to meet up with the person and probably ask, okay, if you're free, let's have lunch. So things like that. I build a good rapport with my clients. So we become friends. Yeah, we establish that friendship. So in the end, I will give them what they want, okay? And I will also get what I want. It's a win-win situation. Okay, thank you. Back to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, because we were so worried about, are we going to miss your point? But point well made, all the way from, you said you're in Indonesia, ne? Where?
No,
Where
I'm in East Malaysia. Kota Kinabalu,
East
Sabah.
Malaysia. Oh,
East
perfect.
Malaysia.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's go to Shamini. Shamini, please, can you give us your 1 minute?
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master. Adina from East Malaysia. This is my point of view or my opinion of your speech, someone from West Malaysia. Yes, what I liked about you, you have a natural confidence. You have the clarity of expressing your mind, except for a little bit in the middle when you kind of couldn't get the right word, but otherwise it was very good. And you gave a personal story, more like a case study, because this was a point of, if you get, as Will had said, if you give people what they want, and then you will get what you want. So I thought that was really represented in your whole speech. You took your time about how you would do it, how you kind of, the little touches, I like that word, the little touches, and you made it a very personalized service. And also at the same time, actually establishing your brand. You didn't compromise on your own branding. And I really love that about you. When you said Umi Adina, I mean, that's a lovely name and a lovely product, the Telukong. Yes. So Adina, I think you really took it spot on as you gave your whole study about, if you give them what they want, you actually ended that. If you give them what you want, you get what you want, which is a sale. But you satisfied your customer as well. So very well done, Adina. Good job. Back to you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Well done, Shamini. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how digital world is working. That's why our team say, let's go digital. Let's try to go on the digital land and digital landscape and grow our businesses. If you can follow this, you will make it big in the business world. Your brand will go bigger and you will be the most happiest person. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it from my side. I have done my part and I'm going to hand control back to our Toastmaster of the day, Harlina Indra. Back to you, Madam PPE.
Thank you very much, Table Topping Master. Big applause to all the speakers. And now I would like to ask the timer, what about their time?
Thank you. Thank you, Helena. For the table topic speakers, we start off with Shamraj, 1 minute 45 seconds. Agustinus, 1 minute 15 seconds. Will, 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Adina is 2 minutes 30 seconds. For the evaluators, we have Ellen, 1 minute 15 seconds. Manjo, 1 minute 30 seconds. Alex, 1 minute 8 seconds. Shamin, 1 minute 12 seconds. Back to you.
Thank you. Applause for all. And the table topic speakers were all evaluated. And what about the prepared speakers? Let's hear it from the person who will lead the evaluation session. Please welcome Toastmaster Shamraj.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the meet. Now I talk to you as the general evaluator of this meeting. A good speech starts at the guidance of a wise mentor and closes at the efforts of an honest evaluator. Toastmaster Will Scott very rightly said, people feel special when they are congratulated. Now we are going to do this job with a team of evaluators. To start with, may I request the man who boosts us up during every meet, the man who opens up the meeting and says, this is the theme for the day, the person who knows how to lead us from the front, Toastmaster Augustinus, to evaluate the speech presented by Toastmaster Alex Agaba. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shamraj. Alex, congratulations on finishing your mentoring project. But first of all, I would like to apologize to you. I missed the very first minute of your speech because I keep on disconnected from today's Zoom meeting. I don't know why. But judging from what I heard from your speech, I like several things from your speech. For example, the content of your speech, the majority of it is based on story, on how you mentor your mentee until she is shining like a torch. And the second thing, I like how you presented your speech. You are standing, so your body language is natural, your hand gesture looks natural. And the third thing that I like from your speech is your message. Your message is shown at the title of your speech. You said that a candle doesn't lose its light by lighting another. This is a perfect way to picture what a mentor-mentee relationship, how you light up your mentee until she is shining. And you also use it at the closing of your speech. You say that we are here for a reason. So are you ready to pass the torch to light others? Now, to make your speech become better, even better, perhaps you can be more consistent on using the word candle or torch. At the title of your speech, you use candle, but at the body of your speech, you mention several times about torch. Perhaps you can consistently use candle or torch. The second thing, to make your message seep into your audience even more, you can consistently put the word candle, lighting, throughout several parts of your speech. For example, you tell us that how scared you are the first time you attended a Toastmasters meeting. Perhaps you can add like, the feeling is like entering a very dark bat cave, for example. And you can tell us that I remember at that time my mentor light my candle so that I have the courage to enter that dark cave. For example, you can put several times in your speech the word candle, lighting, to make your message even stronger. Overall, congratulations on finishing your mentoring project. I would like to hear more about your other project in the future. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Shamraj.
That was a sensible evaluation to a remarkable speech. I was able to understand how microscopic and how minute this leader can get into. In fact, he has given us the right funnel to sell this speech. Thank you, Toastmaster Augustinus. Now we move on to the next evaluator. The next evaluator, I should tell you something about him. I told you that the previous evaluator is a motivator to all of us. He is a giver of information to all of us. But who gives the giver? Who motivates the motivator? He is the guy who gives the boost to the president as the sergeant at arms every time. I love him for his clarity and the command that he takes when he speaks. An epitome of command in T&C Toastmasters Club. May I request Toastmaster Alan to evaluate the speech presented by Toastmaster Manoj Nair. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Shamraj. Good evening again, everyone. Today, Manoj's speech is about him identifying his leadership styles. And the purpose of the speech was for him to share some aspect of his leadership style and discuss leadership in general. What I felt Manoj have done well in today's speech particularly in 3 things. Now, let me go through it one by one. Number one, I like how you're able to create a clear visual for us. Leadership is a very abstract topic, and how you're able to allow us to see leadership was by telling us story about your father and grandmother, by allocating the right definitions of different styles of leadership to them. So that tagging itself allows us to have a clear vision of how leadership should look like. Number two, you have a take-home message, which was when you mentioned that there was 2 lessons that I've learned from my family. Influence doesn't mean control, and a good human being can be a good leader. I thought it was brilliant. And number 3, most important of all, is how coherent you're able to tie in this visual to the take-home message. It's parallel, because when you tell us the lessons that you took home from influence not being about control, it ties into dictatorship. When you tell us good human being, it tells us about servant leadership. So I think this shows us how much effort you put in crafting this speech. So well done on that. How you could bring this speech to another level is how I felt you could focus a little bit more on the structure. Now, let me go into these 3 things specifically with regards to structure. Number 1, I felt that the opening story might not have aligned so much with the key message that you want to deliver. As much as it was a great personal experience when it comes to how you gave a speech and all this, it does not really give a right introduction to the main message. So maybe a different story, or even better, cut off the whole opening, go straight to the point. Number 2, how you elaborate on your father and your grandmother's leadership style was excellent. If you could do the same for your own, when you tell them about how you want to lead your own team at work, the way that you pass down your numbers to everybody else, maybe elaborate a little bit more on that. I felt we wanted to know you a little bit better in terms of how great of a leader you are. Number 3, which is most important of all, as much as you have a good take-home message, try as much as possible, do not introduce new message towards the closing. What do you mean by that? There was a new message that was in form of a quote, such as, place your need above others' needs, you care by options. So as much as you throw a lot of all these things coming in, the main message that you want us to take home gets diluted in it. So let me repeat myself. What you've done well was there was a clear visual. Number 2, there was a good take-home message. And number 3, it was coherent. So this thing, keep it. What you want to improve when it comes to structure is change or eliminate the opening, elaborate on your own personal experience, and also avoid bringing in new message towards the end. All in all, that was a brilliant speech when it comes to leadership. I look forward to your next speech. Well done and congratulations. Back to you, Shamraj.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alan. Now I see that all the members of T&C Toastmasters Club are preparing for their evaluation contest. Fantastic job. You have elevated the standards of evaluation, Alan. In fact, it was a dramatic speech presented by Toastmaster Manoj, and you have explained it to the core. We couldn't have asked for more. Thank you. Now, to the final evaluator of this evening. I'm sure this evaluator had already had a very bad time. She should have had a very tough time, because when this speaker was presenting, it was a bundle of education. We were all making notes. She should have definitely been perplexed of whether to make notes of the session or to make notes of her evaluation. Let us see how much she has succeeded, because I have a lot of trust and belief in her, a person whom I admire for her diction, for the fluency, for the pace in which she handles the second language of hers. May I request the person that I admire, Toastmaster Shamini, to evaluate the keynote speech presented by Toastmaster Will Scott.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator Shamraj. Will Scott, you had me not at hello, but sell the sizzle. I love the title for your keynote presentation. I mean, that really grabbed my attention, first of all. And then with your opening, you told them what you were going to tell them. For the next 30 minutes, this is what I'm going to tell you, which is an age-old way, but it kind of lessened the stress of the audience, because they kind of knew what to expect. And then, of course, you had that PowerPoint presentation, which I will come and address later. What I liked was the simple way you presented what could be a very deep and profound education session, so to speak. Yes. You said, audience is nothing but I mean, selling is nothing but about the people. And you said it's about the right person selling to the right person. Just these two sentences that you clearly said in the beginning was kind of the crux of the whole thing. And I think that really pointed us, your audience, to where you wanted to take us, which is really, really very good. And then you showed us the pre-funnel, the funnel pre-launch checklist, and you talked about the avatar. And you, oh my God, what strange word is that? And you simplified it with no jargon. You explained, don't get worried about it. I will tell you in simple words. And you did that, what the avatar of your sales or your funnel or customer base is about. And you also told us about, in a lot of ways, is who is your best customer, what. You told about what you have to address, which is the pain point and the problem. And that's how you're going to serve them, the whys as well. And for each level that you actually demonstrated, you gave us examples. For instance, you wouldn't want to sell someone who's going to want a bikini body pet food or something like that. I mean, both those glaring differences kind of caught, and there was a little bit of element of humor in that as well. So that was really well done. And you also told us about the branding and how we identify a product by the branding, like McDonald's or something. And you gave a few examples like that. And yes, and then you said about the seriousness of doing research on your avatar. And I think that was really, really very important, because without doing that, we can't really progress further. If you don't know who your customer is, you made a point of telling us in so many words that we had to do our homework. And why did we have to do our homework? And you gave the 5 Ps, which was very, very simple, but very educative and very, very important. And I think you did that brilliantly, Will. Yes. Now, if I were to come to say some suggestions, I mean, this is a lot in your speech. The main suggestion I would go, or recommendation I would suggest, is about your PowerPoint presentation. Because when you had so much information, I was like a greedy dog looking at everything else and not quite paying attention to what you were saying in the beginning. And then I had to remind myself that I'm your evaluator, I better pay attention to what you said. So I would suggest that though this is your selling PowerPoint, I mean, you sell or you work with this, you have a simpler version for 20-minute speeches like this, where you give just the headings of it. In this case, you address 2 areas, which is the avatar and the important message. So you just give those two details for a few of those 2 points, and the rest of it just have the headers, for example. So that's about it, Will. I mean, thank you so much for talking about the ClickFunnels. You did it so well. And I know there's a lot that I'd like to look at it again. I think I'm going to look at this recording again. So yes, well done, Will. And back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
This is why she is very successful. If any of you had missed the speech or the keynote session of Toastmaster Will Scott, what she presented now is nothing but the highlights of that session. Absolutely fantastic, ma'am. We enjoyed every point of yours, and your boldness and confidence, you inspired us with them. Now that is the end of the evaluators for the prepared speeches. Now here is a special role played by a special person in this evaluation segment. We don't find this in many of the other clubs. I've not got introduced to this person before, but when I was told that she is going to evaluate an evaluator, I understood this should certainly be a person of high profile. Is it happening, ma'am?
I think she will be silent. She will be the silent evaluator, so she will not give her presentation here today. Yes.
Okay. So that is how naive I am to this role. So does that mean she would give that evaluation later to that person offline? Will it happen sometime?
Yes, it will happen offline.
Fantastic. However, I feel happy to have introduced that person, and it is Toastmaster Arnie, who will talk to Toastmaster Augustinus later. Glad people, in that case, let me request Madam Toastmaster Siu Chen to present the timers report for the evaluators.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Augustinus took 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Ellen took 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Shamini took 3 minutes and 46 seconds. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, ma'am, for the meticulous report. Now, my report as the General Evaluator. What have we learned from this evaluation segment? we understand that the evaluators do not evaluate the speakers. They evaluate the presentations of the speakers. Now, as the general evaluator, I started looking at things even before the meeting started. The credentials were very clear. We did not have any problem entering the meet. It had a soothing start. People were all settled before they started this meeting. The guests were warmly welcomed, and the guests were also given an opportunity to introduce themselves. The ice was broken right at the top. There was a warm-up session. In fact, with the warm-up sessions, I should say something, warm-up sessions should not be so hot. Let them be warm. Let them not threaten the people. And you did that so well today, Toastmaster of the meet, Harlina. The question that you asked was very simple, clear, easy, and in a way, it was tempting for us to answer. When you posted the question, I was waiting for my chance. That's exactly how that activity had to be, and you did that with excellence. Then we had 3 speakers. What would we as audience expect from our speakers? Clear crafting of the speech, proper preparation and rehearsal, impeccable execution. We had that served so beautifully by all the 3 speakers. Toastmaster Alex taught us how to have a conversational flow. Toastmaster Manoj taught us how to add drama into your speech. Toastmaster Will Scott taught us how to be efficacious trainers and coaches. Thank you, my dear speakers of the day. And then we moved on to the table topic section. There were a lot of proxies today, but then the proxies have done a great job. What a wonderful idea to choose topics or to fish topics from the keynote speakers session. Now, this is exactly what you do and how you do when you are given with a role all in a sudden. Beautifully executed, and that is why he is 4 times distinguished Toastmaster Eric Kyler. Thank you so much. In fact, you recapped the whole session. You gave us a way to ruminate thoughts of what Will Scott underlined. That landed up so successfully. You had speakers doing the job so well when you posted your questions. And then we moved on to the evaluators. The evaluators had been keen in their observation, and everything till this moment has happened so successfully. Now, what could we have done to make this meeting even better? I think we started 2 minutes late than usual. Talking about the introduction of speakers. Yes, we take a lot of efforts to say something good about the speaker, but if we maintain an order, I think anybody who enters the meeting newly would enjoy that as well. Now, the first thing that we do shall be to say something about the speaker and not reveal who that person is. Trust me, we are all lazy to look into the agenda and find who that person is. We would rather wait to get it from you. So introduce the speaker by presenting the good points and then give the name of the person. And then let us introduce the role that the person is taking up. Okay, this person is the prepared speaker for today. This person is doing a project in this line. And finally, when we announce the topic, will it be good if we do it the way the contest masters do it during contests? Toastmaster Manoj, honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the best policy, Toastmaster Manoj Nair. I think that way it would sound more professional. That's it. I did not find anything more as recommendation. I only enjoyed the meeting. Out of all the meetings that we had been enjoying over the last few months, I would rate this to be on the top for the quality education that everybody has served. There has definitely been a good learning. We were only 13 to 14 participants throughout the meeting, but the lessons were great. Thank you, everyone. Let me hand over control back to the Toastmaster of the meet. Thank you all for the opportunity. To you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Applause for our general evaluator. And now, before we hand back the meeting to the club president, I would like to have a picture taken of all of us. Is it possible? Who will take the picture? Or maybe I don't see.
I can
Okay.
help you
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
if you don't mind.
Yes, please do.
Ready, everyone? Oh, distinguished Toastmaster Allen will take the picture. Okay.
All right, everyone. This is the part where we take photo. We will take 2 photos, one formal and the other one a little bit crazy. All right, so the formal one means that you give your brightest smile. This is the ambassador for Colgate. All right, going 1, 2, 3. All right, second photo, which is an informal one. This is the part where you go crazy. Going 1, 2. Okay, well done, everyone. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Alan. Thank you also, Arnie. And now I would like to say to everybody, I think we know now more about ClickFunnels today. And if you don't, we will watch it back on the YouTube video, I think, later. Yeah. Thank you very much. And back to the club president, Agustinus.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Harlina Indra. Thank you for such a wonderful meeting today. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, thank you for coming to our today's meeting. Our next meeting will be conducted on the 14th of October, the second Thursday in every month, and 4th. I would like to invite our guests to share what is their opinion about our meeting today. I would like to invite Toastmaster Adina. Would you like to share your feedback and opinion regarding our meeting today? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Agustinus, Mr. President. I truly enjoyed today's meeting. It's something different. I like it that when you have the table topics and immediately after that you have an evaluator to evaluate. So like different evaluators. So that's something new to me. And I also like the part where you invite speakers like Mr. Will Scott, Distinguished Toastmaster Will, who shared with us. Thank you so much. So I will definitely come back again on the 14th, God willing. If I have nothing, I will be very happy to join. It's really, like you said, Pak Agus, we are always learning. So I really learned a lot. I took a lot of notes. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
It is our honor to have you here, Toastmaster Adina. Master Ahni Lim, would you like to introduce yourself and how do you know about our club today and what is your opinion and feedback regarding our today's meeting?
Hello, actually I'm very tired because I just came back from a recording, but then I saw, oh, there's a meeting on and I tried to catch on and I only came in, I think half an hour after the meeting start. But then I really learned a lot as TM Edina said, very new way of running things. And because actually I'm a very new Toastmaster, I'm from Club Pidato Kuala Lumpur. So I really love the idea of everything being run. It's a good, fresh idea. And I got this link from actually Sarike Toastmaster Club, which I always visit. So thank you. If got time, I will surely come again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for attending today's meeting, Toastmaster Ahni Lim. Welcome to District 87. And next, Toastmaster Arni, would you like to share your feedback regarding today's meeting?
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Agus. I am totally lost in this meeting today because the theme is, I'm clueless about the theme and the flick funnel and everything. So yes, I think I learned something new too today that maybe I will find out more later what is flick funnel and all that up. So what was that again in the table topic? But it is quite challenging for me and I like the meeting. It is a decent meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arni. Yeah, we have so much new knowledge that Toastmaster Will Scott presented to us. Thank you, Toastmaster Will. Okay, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for participating. Today's meeting is such a wonderful meeting. I will see you again in our next meeting, 14th of October. Thank you, everyone. With this,
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great session.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Will, do you want a written evaluation for this?
I would love one if you don't mind. That would be brilliant.
Yeah, so I possibly put it in a clearer manner than my actual verbal evaluation. Yeah.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that so many.
Yes, cool. You did well. You did well.
The YouTube is still on. Please, yes, it's still streaming.
Who's in charge of stopping streaming?